Change begins the moment we decide to take responsibility for our own lives. Barack Obama often stresses that no law, leader, or policy can replace the power of individual accountability. When people wait for someone else to fix their problems, they surrender control over their future. Obama believes that true progress happens when we stop pointing fingers and start asking ourselves what we can do differently. Every great transformation, whether personal or societal, starts with an internal decision to take ownership. It's about recognizing that our actions, habits, and decisions shape the direction of our lives far more than circumstances ever will. Instead of complaining about unfair systems or bad luck, Obama encourages people to focus on what they can influence right now. That could mean studying harder, working smarter, treating people better, or showing up every day with integrity and discipline. He often reminds his listeners that success isn't handed to anyone, it's earned through consistent effort. When he speaks about his own journey, from a young man searching for identity to becoming President of the United States, his story proves that personal responsibility builds strength and character. Obama didn't wait for opportunities, he created them. He worked hard, made sacrifices, and stayed true to his values even when no one was watching. That's what personal responsibility is about, doing the right thing, especially when it's hard. It's easy to talk about change, but much harder to live it daily through small, disciplined actions. Obama also emphasizes that taking responsibility doesn't mean being perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, faces setbacks, and experiences doubt. What matters is learning from those moments and refusing to stay stuck in regret. Responsibility is about acknowledging failure and using it as a lesson, not an excuse. Each decision, whether big or small, either brings us closer to our goals or pushes us further away. Obama's message is to take ownership of those decisions and understand their power. The world changes when individuals start holding themselves accountable for their choices, their words, and their energy. When we take responsibility, we stop being victims of circumstance and start becoming creators of our destiny. That's where true change begins, with you deciding that your life, your goals, and your growth are in your hands. Barack Obama has always emphasized that dreams alone don't bring transformation, action does. He believes that wishing for change without taking steps toward it is like standing still while expecting to move forward. Many people have big ambitions and inspiring visions, but they often get stuck in planning, waiting for the right time, or fearing failure. Obama's message cuts through that hesitation. Nothing changes until you act. He encourages everyone to stop overthinking and start doing, even if the steps are small. Action, no matter how imperfect, is more powerful than endless intention. It's through taking that first leap, writing the first page, starting the first project, or showing up for the first opportunity, that momentum begins. Obama often shares his own story of starting as a community organizer on the south side of Chicago, where he learned that change happens through direct involvement, not distant observation. He didn't have much money or influence, but he had the willingness to knock on doors, listen to people, and take initiative. Those early actions, though small, laid the foundation for everything he achieved later. He teaches that it's not about waiting for permission or ideal conditions, because perfect moments rarely come. Real leaders and change makers act even when things are uncertain. They use what they have where they are and trust that consistent effort will open new doors. Taking action also builds confidence. Each small success strengthens belief, while each mistake brings valuable lessons. Obama believes that courage grows through doing, not thinking. The people who make a difference are those who dare to begin before they feel ready. He reminds us that every great achievement, from social reform to personal success, started with a single step. Action transforms dreams into reality because it turns imagination into results. Without it, even the best ideas fade away. Obama's message is simple but powerful. Stop waiting and start working. If you want change in your life, your community, or the world, don't just talk about it, move. Every act of effort, no matter how small, creates a ripple that inspires others and brings you closer to your vision. Change is not a gift. It's a result of relentless action driven by purpose. Barack Obama often reminds people that success and meaningful change are not achieved overnight. He knows from experience that real progress takes patience, consistency, and an unwavering commitment to keep moving forward, even when the road feels long and uncertain. Throughout his life, Obama faced rejection, doubt, and criticism, yet he never allowed setbacks to define him. Instead, he used them as fuel to grow stronger. His journey reflects one of the most powerful truths: persistence is the foundation of all lasting success. When you commit to a goal and keep going despite failures, you build resilience, the kind of strength that cannot be taught, but only earned through perseverance. He teaches that failure is not a sign to give up, but a test of your determination. Each obstacle you encounter reveals how badly you want to achieve your dream. Many people give up when progress seems slow, not realizing that most breakthroughs happen after countless quiet efforts that no one sees. Obama often says that progress is rarely linear. It's full of ups and downs, moments of hope followed by moments of doubt. But what separates achievers from quitters is the ability to keep showing up when things get tough. Every time you refuse to give up, you prove to yourself that your vision matters. Obama's own rise to leadership was built on persistence. Before becoming president, he faced many defeats, but each one taught him lessons that prepared him for the next challenge. He never allowed temporary failures to define his destiny. That mindset of learning, adjusting, and continuing made him a symbol of endurance and hope. He believes that persistence gives you power because it teaches you patience and self-belief. When you persist, you learn to trust the process instead of rushing results. He encourages people to remember that meaningful change takes time. Whether it's improving yourself, building a career, or changing the world, persistence is what keeps dreams alive when motivation fades. You will fall, fail, and question yourself, but each step forward, no matter how small, moves you closer to success. Obama's message is simple yet profound: never stop pushing, never stop believing, and never stop working. Because those who stay persistent, even when no one notices, are the ones who ultimately shape history. Barack Obama has always believed that lasting change is not the work of one person alone, but the result of collective effort. He reminds us that true progress is built when people come together, united by a shared vision and purpose. No individual, no matter how talented or determined, can solve every problem alone. Change requires teamwork, understanding, and the willingness to see beyond personal interests. Obama's leadership was shaped by his time as a community organizer, where he saw firsthand how collaboration could transform struggling neighborhoods. He learned that when people join hands, pool their ideas, and support one another, their combined strength becomes unstoppable. He often emphasizes that unity does not mean everyone has to agree on everything. Instead, it's about respecting differences and finding common ground for the greater good. In a world often divided by politics, race, or religion, Obama encourages people to focus on what connects them rather than what separates them. He believes that empathy, the ability to understand and feel for others, is the foundation of unity. When we listen to each other's stories, we begin to see that our struggles and dreams are more similar than we think. That realization builds bridges where walls once stood. Obama also speaks about the importance of service and contribution. He believes that everyone has a role to play in making their community better, whether it's volunteering, mentoring, or simply treating others with kindness. Change grows stronger when individuals commit not just to personal success, but to the success of others around them. One person's effort can inspire many, creating a wave of positive action that moves society forward. Obama often says, we rise or fall together, reminding us that our futures are interconnected. He encourages people to see unity as a source of power. When communities stand together, they can overcome challenges that seem impossible alone. That spirit of togetherness was the force behind historic movements for civil rights, equality, and freedom. Obama's message is clear: lasting progress is born from cooperation, compassion, and shared purpose. Change is not a solo journey, it's a collective mission. When people come together, guided by empathy and hope, they can build a world that reflects the best of humanity. Barack Obama has always believed that hope is not just a feeling but a driving force that fuels progress and transformation. He often says that without hope, there can be no change, because hope is what keeps people moving forward even when the path is uncertain. Obama's message is rooted in the belief that hope is an act of strength, not weakness. It takes courage to remain hopeful in the face of setbacks, failure, or injustice. He believes that every meaningful achievement begins with the belief that a better tomorrow is possible. Hope gives people the energy to act, to rise again after defeat, and to continue fighting for what's right, even when the odds seem impossible. Throughout his career, Obama has seen how hope can unite people and inspire action. When he first ran for office, his campaign wasn't just about politics. It was about restoring faith in the idea that ordinary people could make extraordinary change. He spoke to the hearts of millions by reminding them that hope is not blind optimism or wishful thinking. It's the belief that hard work, persistence, and courage can create real results. Hope gives meaning to sacrifice, turning struggle into purpose. It's the quiet voice that says, "Keep going," when the world tells you to give up. Obama also teaches that hope must be paired with action. It's not enough to simply wish for better days. We must work to bring them into reality. Hope lights the path, but effort is what moves us forward. He reminds people that the challenges we face, whether in our personal lives or as a society, can only be overcome when hope inspires us to act with determination. Hope gives us the resilience to try again after failure, to forgive, to rebuild, and to dream even when things fall apart. He encourages everyone to nurture hope not only for themselves but for others. In dark times, one person's hope can spark change in an entire community. Obama's message is timeless. Hope is power. It is what drives progress, unites people, and keeps humanity moving toward a brighter future. Even when life gets difficult, holding on to hope allows us to see beyond the struggle and believe that the best is still ahead.